Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long boys blues, 1975. A YouTuber is on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends music about Long boys blues, 1975.
So here I am in the Broadwalk shopping centre, just strolling in. It's an absolutely horrible day, so I thought, let's go out and check out in the wild. I'm doing my usual commentary over this. I don't even really want to talk too much about the games within this part. I just want to show you a little bit of out in the wild in Bristol. But yeah, I've got the sound turned down and I'm doing commentary over the top, which is a shame, because the two blokes next to me in this store and their logic for how they were going to find the game, like I said, you may not be able to hear it, and they were proper full-on West Country. It was absolutely hilarious. I mean, their logic was brilliant. I mean, brilliant as in the sense that it was so flawed it wasn't funny, to the point where I stopped and thought to myself, probably best you people don't have kids, eh? Now, cash generators has always been, at least to me, a poor man's cash converters, but for every now and then you will come across a gem in it, and I did in this one, which you can see in this, but but you can't see the cash converters bit yet. But for once, this place actually, shot them in the foot for the price. But the one thing I will say is, it's starting to notice, right? Starting to notice that the 360 games, yes, possibly I should have moved on by this point, but they're getting smaller and smaller in the wild, at least in my neck of the woods. This is B&M, you were right, Larry, this is B&M, pound store. My favourite places in pound stores are the crisp aisle. Oh look, it's the Batman versus Superman toys in a pound store. Yeah, granted they're not a pound, but yeah. You could actually do your grocery shopping in this place, apart from for frozen and chilled, because it's huge. They got so many cool things in here. Plus also Minions. Who doesn't like Minions? But yeah, I always stock up on my crisps in this place because it's so good. It really is. If you are in my neck of the woods, really check out this place, B&M in the Broadwalk. Plus there's another really good pound store in it. Probably my two favourite in Bristol. Cash converters, good old cash converters, never lets me down. A little bit weak this time, on games at least, but I really lucked out on DVDs in here. I was really impressed. Box sets, that is, because box sets are amongst my favourite things to watch. And cash converters, and we said generators. There is a generators just down the road over from this, but I didn't go in there this time. Yeah, they've got an absolutely amazing top shelf above the DVDs as all box sets and nothing but box sets, and really good priced. Well, the majority. There will always be that little one that apparently they've checked their prices on eBay, but isn't that like every store ever? I don't know. It seems to be more so with charity stores in my neck of the woods, but yeah, cash converters is starting to become a little bit guilty of it as well. Anyway, on to the pickups, methinks. Hey YouTube, Long Boys Post 1975. Croaky as fuck. Yeah, 5 weeks and I still haven't been able to kick this cold. I suspect though the second half of this cold might be a different cold, or some kind of uber cold engineered by the Russians just to piss off the West. Anyway, I went out into the wild today, a couple of reasons. One, I just spent, long story, 25 hours in bed and I just had to get out of the house, to which I learned something, which is, if you sleep on one side perfectly for 25 hours, even to the point where you actually don't go for a whiz, at least with me, maybe because I'm thin, you actually bruise your arm. Who knew? Why isn't this shit taught to us at school? Even though I wasn't feeling particularly good, I would have made more of an effort to get out of fucking bed. Anyway, the storms are kind of gone. Now we've got this Arctic blast, but with the rain. And so it was absolutely miserable. And so, I don't know, I just thought, let's just go out in the wild. I had to go downtown anyway to buy some pills and stuff. Proper medicine pills, not that shit that everyone took in the 90s, but not me, of course. So I thought I'd, pop into my usual haunts. So I went to cash generators, cash converters, Pink Planets, and I think, and a charity store that I think is, and I only bought one thing in there, but it's fucking boss. I thought it was Wilkins, but then I realised, because I went to Broadwalk, that's where most of these shops are. And I have an amazing subway as well, but I think I mentioned that in my pointless waffle. Did I get round of, copyright sound and shit like that when I was out in the wild? Don't know why I'm waving my hands around. Yeah, so Wilkins is when you go into the Broadwalk. It's a really small mall, and it gets a lot of flack, but I quite like it because I always find some nuggets of coolness in there. Is that even a real phrase? So I think you were right, Larry Bundy, that it is B&M, which is a brilliant place because the lightsaber in my intro, I picked that up from there a couple of years ago for £19. A Force Effect double Darth Maul lightsaber for £19. I think they sell a lot of stock they buy from you know, like, I don't know, warehouses that go bankrupt and stuff like that. Their Minion figures are really, really, really cheap, so check it out. And no, I didn't get my Kevin the Minion there. I got this from Asda last week. Are you ready for this? I only saw it by accident for £8. I'm not one of those people that flaunts prices or stuff like that, because I've always wanted one of these, but I thought I can't justify 30 quid on it. Then I saw Bob reduced to 15. I went, nah, still can't, you know, justify that. Then I saw him, Kevin. Bob's my favourite now, not Dave, sorry, but Bob stole my heart in the movie. But you know, Kevin for 8 quid, wicked.
Ah, good.
Just so good.
Come here, nibble my feet.
Oh, here's my favourite. Here's my favourite. Ready?
Banana. Banana.
Go and do your fart. Hey! Anyway, right, enough of that. So, I don't know if there's an Asda near you. I don't know if it was just the Asda by me. But they should be reduced in it. Actually, I think they are reduced because one of my mates in this neck of the woods said he bought a load of them to sell online. Anyway, right, so where should we go first? I went into Pink Planet, and the footage is corrupted for that, so you couldn't see it. But probably just as well, because their music is so bloody loud in there that it might have been easy to talk over the top. Now, you know when you get a hankering, and I don't know which one this is, so you might be able to help me out, for a game that you played ages and ages, we're talking a couple of years ago, and then you completely forgot that there were sequels to it, and then you thought, well, the first game was a really, really solid and enjoyable game, so I want to pick up one of the sequels. So that game for me would be Transformers Fall of Cybertron. Now this is where I get confused because I forget the one I played. I think this might be it because it's 2012. Oh, bollock. No, is it? Because it's got Grimlock on it. There's 3, isn't there? The last one is the Something Spark from the movies. I've only ever seen the first 2 movies and then got bored. I might have bought the first one then. Oh well, I remember it being a really, really, really fun and enjoyable game, and for once, graphics were really nice. The transformation mechanic was actually, you know, relevant and useful in the game. Sometimes, lots of times, particularly going back old school, you know, even the one on the PlayStation 2, although was that a hockey one that wasn't supposed, like a leaked one or something, I forget. The transformation mechanic was just there to show off shiny graphics, and look at us, we got the noise and shit, and it wasn't any good. But yeah, if this is the one I first bought, then I'm quite looking forward to it. But yeah, so of the 3, if someone could leave a comment telling me the sequence, then I know whether I fucked up or how to correct it. But this was $11.99. Is that cheap? Dunno. It's got the instructions, shiny and fantastic. Said it before, say it again. If you're happy to pay it, then it's a good price. Now this is an interesting one because I know, and I didn't have it back in the day, that it's actually just a port of the PlayStation 1. But there's a reason I bought it, and that's Rogue. These games are shit, people, don't tell me. Let me find out the hard, old-fashioned way. Rogue Trooper Quartz Zone Massacre on the Nintendo Wii. Yeah, as I said, I'm pretty sure it's just a PlayStation 2 version with tactile motion controls, but those are people, you know, those of you who've watched me for a long time know, you know, I grew up in 2000 AD, you know, one of the greatest British comics still to this day of all time, and I adored Rogue Trooper, the last genetically engineered infantryman who survived a slaughter, and he had his gun, his backpack and his helmet, and they took chips out of his dead mates, or he did, that stored their personalities on and inserted them onto his helmet, his gun and his backpack. Hence the fact that it's gun, helm and backpack, and I adored it, and so I thought I gotta give this a go because fucking Rogue Trooper was amazing, especially when they reinvented him. Excuse me, and then got rid of him. It's this bloody Russian engineered cold. Then got rid of him and then brought back the old one. But I think he was called War Machine, and it was hand painted. Hands up, who remember? Hands up. If you remember that, let me know. But that was absolutely amazing. So always got a soft spot for 2000 AD and Rogue Trooper. So I thought I got a crack into that. Now this is, if you see my Facebook, you'll see it. This is a big deal to me, at least. I saw in B&M, which is a pound store, Lucky Charms. You haven't been able to buy Lucky Charms in this country since the 80s. I think the rumour has it, or the urban legend is, some kid choked on a piece of marshmallow, which, if that's true or not, I don't know if it killed him, but I'm just saying, but the marshmallow was smaller than the cereal, at least the one I had when I was a kid, so either it's a lie and there must have been something in the, you know, I don't know, colouring or flavouring or something back then, or he was just dumb bastard. But as a few people mentioned, you can buy it in the foreign food aisle in supermarkets, but you have to pay a lot of money. I've never actually seen it in the ones by me, like Asda, Tesco's, Sainsbury's and Morrison's. So when I saw this, and it's not a UK one, it's got a UK sticker over the American product information. It's not, but it was £3 and there was a big sign. This is because I walked by like this and then just stopped, and then backtracked and just went, big sign saying it's back. £3, and that's where I was like, holy shit, Lucky Charms is back. I don't have a particularly sweet tooth, but I'm going to try it simply because I haven't had a bowl of it since I was a kid when I did have a sweet tooth, and I absolutely loved the tits off it back then. Right, so then I went into cash generators. Only bought a couple of things. One of them I'm really impressed with. It was B&M, Larry. You were in fact correct. Right. Yeah, I had to talk over it, and I don't mean it in a horrible way, but if you could hear everything the two blokes next to me was saying, it was comedy gold. Not because they were trying, it just was, and justifying why you should look for a game because they knew it was there, and the other guy was, well, how do you know? It might not be. No, it is. It's always here. Oh, never mind. So, first time when I saw it, I thought, I've had this before. And I just thought, well, normally this goes for a reasonably high price. I mean, I saw it in cash converters afterwards for higher than this. I think they wanted £8 for it. But yeah, South Park: The Stick of Truth. I loved it. I completed it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic. Genuinely hilarious, especially all the content they made for it. It's completely looks sexy and wonderful. But I bought it simply because I've not seen it cheap since, and I regret selling mine. And obviously I won't be able to play the new one because I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox. So I thought, no, I'll go for this again. It made me happy the first time. It'll make me happy again. And as I said, I think, maybe it's just me, that was a bloody good price for it. Now this is an interesting one because I thought I had the tinned, and I might still somewhere, tinned Xbox original version. I don't know if they're the same game. I mean, this was $5.99, but I didn't know it was on the 360, and you know, you can't go wrong with first-person shooters by id. Doom 3 BFG edition. What was the year on this? I was going to say, what was the yearage? 2012. My God, I thought I got good eyesight. I swear this shit's getting smaller. Or maybe I'm just getting older and bitter. No instructions, but disc is saucy. But yeah, I just had a hankering to play it. I remember I may have got bored with the other version, but then as I said, that, you know, it wasn't just a purchase for the sake of purchasing. It was because, well, then, you know, wouldn't the place be to play it anyway? For, you know, the definitive version of it would be the 360, at least for me. That's my logic, and that's the story I'm sticking to. So I thought, no, I got to have a go at that again for absolutely fuck all. Oh, and I bought a new set of headphones from B&M because if you know me, I go through headphones like you wouldn't fucking believe. I don't try to, I don't do anything wrong with them, apart from sometimes I fall asleep with them when I'm listening to the sound of rain, because I like white noise, especially when you have to sleep during the day. So I go through them, you know, quicker than gonorrhea goes through balls. So the last stop of the day, and as I said, I always seem to luck out in cash converters, at least for the stuff I want. Now this, until the movies came along, people probably in this country at least who didn't have Sky back in the day, because that's when we first got to watch it. Look how purdy Johnny Depp is on the front. But yeah, it was, I watched it on Sky, is what I'm trying to say where I first found it. It's 21 Jump Street, the original first season for $4.99, and it actually says on the back, the Smash TV series starring Johnny Depp, now on DVD for the first time in the UK. I have no idea how it's aged. I mean, it was a pretty cheesy cheese fest then. And we just watched it because it was kind of like, this is when Johnny Depp was, you know, really starting to cut his teeth on movie roles and stuff like that. So what are we looking at? Late 80s? I'm sure it slightly predates the 90s. He looks like such a dick on the back though. Yeah, it was, you know, it was more style than substance, or more stylish, cheesy style than substance. But if you had Sky, then you know, it was a big deal, mainly because we never got shows like this. And outside of the United Kingdom, people may not have realised that even when Sky was around, we didn't get a fifth terrestrial TV channel to 1997, Channel 5, and even then that never fucking worked for half the population. Here's a no-brainer, a classic. It was £1. I don't know if it's backward compatible. The second one is, so please don't spoil it. Medal of Honor Frontline. Yeah, I picked it up on PlayStation 2 a couple of years ago, then recycled it. It was $1.99. It's one of those games that you just get hankering to. It was so well executed, and obviously because of the impression of it, you know, copying Saving Private Ryan so well with the beach landings, for at the time, groundbreaking, very graphic. It's just one of those games I find myself drifting back to. Maybe I should just hang on to it forever, but then it's so cheap. I don't know, maybe it's just me. This and Rocky on the GameCube are a game I always go in and out of flittering. But yeah, for £2, you can't go wrong. Plus, this I just think there's some absolute stellar World War II action in it. They don't make World War II games like that anymore. Not even the blokes who make bloody Medal of Honor now. Right, this one is on the word of mouth from a friend at work, but that's Star Wars 3, The Clone Wars on the Wii. $6.99, pricey. Don't know, I've never actually seen it in a cash converters or generators or second-hand store. I love all the Lego games up to a point. I think I stopped with, was it Marvel Superheroes? I mind you, I played down the 3DS. I don't think I liked the second Indiana Jones game. I thought that was bollocks. I loved the first one, and I love Star Wars: The Complete Adventures. And my friend said, if you love that, this is really like that. He said it's the last, to him at least, a great Lego game, great sense of humour, great levels, does differentiate itself from the other entries in the Star Wars Lego universe. But then I thought, fuck it, yeah, I'll have a go on that. If only at least I got a ton of levels to came through. This was quite impressive. For £2.50, the complete first 2 seasons of The Mighty Boosh. If you've not seen The Mighty Boosh, I wouldn't even know how to begin to explain it to you. You think stuff like Monty Python and Vic and Bob was surreal? This is beyond surreal and absolutely genuinely shit your pants-tastic funny. Pretty sure most of us know who they are. If you don't, if you live on that cloud miles away or under a rock, a very big rock, might I add, you really need to do yourself a favour and check out The Mighty Boosh, especially if you can pick it up for the bargain at £2.50. I mean, come on. What's not to like about that? Now, I've got the 1st and the 6th season, and these were cheap as well. These were £2.49 a pop. And then maybe it's one of those shows that depends on the fact that you like retro, or well, I didn't necessarily grow up in this period, but I grew up slightly after it, and I do remember, I'm into a lot of 70s stuff anyway, and programs and music and things like that. So when I saw the complete Series 3 and the complete Series 2 of that 70s show, I just gotta have it. It's another one of those shows you can just pop in and keep watching an episode and episode and episode, never really get bored, simply because the nostalgic, the cars, the music, the wardrobe, the conversations they have, the fact when they first get to, spoilers, see Star Wars and stuff like that. It's just a nice, it's stuff we take for granted now through the eyes of kids who've never seen it before, and something like that. And it's very, very witty and sharp, and Red's fucking a ninja in this. I absolutely adore Red in this. But it's just one of those shows that's just harmless fun, and if you like nostalgia, pretty sure most of you are familiar with that 70s show. If you like nostalgia, you gotta check it out. But not that shit 80s show that followed and I think got tanked immediately, because that was bollocks, even though I'm technically a child of the 80s, but never mind. Anyway, yeah, pickups on a very cold and wet day, and yeah, just wanted to get out of the house, and I'm really, really happy, particularly more so with all the great TV I got to came through, especially since, as I said, it's winter, it's cold, wet and miserable. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.